Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we are here in PRL for the first race of a pre-season race. Let's just say it's not a season race. So we are here in USA and it's actually my first wet qualifying session, I believe, on this game. So this was quite interesting. I did not do any wet running on this track, just dry, so I was hoping for a dry qualifying, but obviously things plan out differently. So yeah, we're here in USA, as you can see through the first sector. Always very tricky in the rain on the first sector with the S section, obviously infamous, or the S section in this track. And now through the uphill right and left hander, always tricky on the exit as there is a curb on the outside, and generally the uphill parts on this track are very hard on the rain. So we're doing quite well on this lap. It's obviously our best lap of the day. We currently some tenths up. I cannot really see from the screen, but yeah, it was a wet running in the start of the session, and now it's intermediate, so obviously the delta will show. I think we actually did a intermediate lap before this, so it's quite a good lap already on the intermediates. I think it's a 44.5, and I think now we're going to improve by a few tenths. So again, an uphill section, really hard on the throttle. Actually hard on the traction of the throttle. You don't want to be going hard on the throttle there. You just want to be feathering the throttle in second or third gear. And now through the downhill and uphill again for the last corner, third gear on the exit and on the entry. So yeah, up to the line is going to be a 44.0, I believe, and that is our best lap of this qualifying session, which put us only in P3 as the track improved, and I'd imagine people could go quicker. So it's Emery on pole, a Lambo in second, and obviously free choice of tire for the race start, and the top three actually started on different compounds. So the pole man Emery started on super softs, Lambo started on softs, which was very interesting to see, and I actually started on ultra soft. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out on the first lap, as there's 5 red lights and the pre-season race is underway here in PRL. Immediately we get off to a great start and up into P2, almost off the line, and now into turn 1 you can see Emery gets a push from someone. I believe it was the Williams of Doom, so he got a push there into turn 1, so he stays ahead. We're up into P2, so that's exactly what we wanted. Emery still in P1, Zoom actually up into P3. Not sure where Lambo went, but obviously he had the soft tires on, so it didn't get off to a great start as I would have imagined. So Emery here through the first and second sector, we're still pretty close to him. So now it's going to be the first reference to see if we're good in a straight line or not. So it goes a bit wide there, locks up the front left tire, and we are right on him going into the big straight for the first time on this race. And you'll be able to see that we are not gaining as much as we would have hoped, or even on overtake mode and rich mix, so all guns out, and we're not gaining even with slipstream. But it again locks up, at least on my screen, the inside left, and now again the inside right into a right corner. So he seems to be struggling a bit under braking. We're going to try and capitalize either way. He gets very defensive into that corner, which allows us to get a better traction zone, and now into the infamous well, quadruple, I guess, left no, right hander, sorry. And now cutting onto the start of lap 3, we fake a move on the inside so Emery can get defensive, so we can make a different approach into turn 1. We look to the inside again there, but obviously cannot go for a move on such a high speed section. Through the S's now, we are very close. Had to open up the steering there to not get a warning, and we are very close to the back of that Mercedes. And through this uphill section, he loses the back end. I believe on his screen things looked a bit differently than on my screen. That shouldn't have been the reaction of that car if things looked as they did on my screen. But you can see into the hairpin again, he struggles on the braking. He gets a better traction zone, but now with the DRS lap 3, obviously we got the flat, we got the rear flat open, and we actually gain on him just a bit. We're gonna put the ERS down for this hairpin. We'll be able to see we get a bit worse traction, but we're still side by side. we're still gonna try and make something work here with different lines. He still has to go defensive into this corner. Another hairpin. We're gonna try and open up the brakes and try to go around the outside, but it doesn't work. So we're gonna try and stay behind. And if you saw the video, this is where it started. So it's the end of lap 3. As you saw earlier on this lap, we actually had a desync problem with things on the screen looking a bit different, and you'll be able to see an even more convenient shot of that. Yeah, we didn't touch him on our screen, but in his screen we did. So that's the desync issue. That's the desync issue for you. So yeah, hopefully things get fixed until league start, and that's about it. We're gonna cut on to the end of lap 7, making our first pit stop. We lost a bit of time to Lambo because our tires were absolutely shot at this point. We didn't have the best first stint in terms of tire wear, so we're gonna fit on the soft tires to go to the end now. And obviously people jumping us as they started off on a fresher, let's say, or harder compound, and now going longer into the race, such as Lambo. So I think right now we are racing Lambo and Cantera, who's actually in P2. He's on the same strategy, I believe, as Lambo. So right now he's on soft tires, but cutting on to the end, I guess, of lap 11. We're making a move on PRL Gary Donegan from last season. He's been in PRL many seasons, so we're going to meet him yet again for the first time in season 17 here in PRL. So we pass him on the big straight with the use of DRS, and next lap we meet his teammate Rickarich on the other Force India. We're going to open up the throttle and go down the inside now on this uphill section in sector 2. Very nice move from us there, and yeah, up into P5 I believe from what I can see. And up next is the Renault of Killer Blue. So into the hairpin, we didn't get the best traction zone, but we're going to try and make something work here with the use of DRS. Overtake ERS mode, and which makes we are gaining significantly on the Renault power engine. And we're going to try and lunge it up inside into the hairpin on lap 12 and we'll make the move stick even before the exit. I believe Killer Blue kind of lets us through there. As the experienced driver he is, he knew we are on a different strategy. So now just gonna pull away, do our own stint, do our own race. And on the start of lap 17, TTG Lambo pits for a set of super softs actually. So I expected him to do a soft, ultra soft strategy, but seems like the tire wear on his McLaren wasn't the best, so it went for a super soft tire instead. And now Cantera is into the pit, so that means we are into the lead of this race. You saw Calic race there with our fastest lap. He's right behind us, and he's not into P2 or anything. He's a back marker, and this is actually going to be an exciting battle, you know. Start of lap 20, you'll be able to see we let him through into turn 1. It goes a bit wide. We are like, okay, he's probably gonna have better grip than us in sector 1, hence why I let him through. But cutting later into the lap on the big straight with the use of DRS, he's just gonna have to let us back through due to the blue flag shown. Although he has better grip right now because he's on the fresh ultra soft tires, we're gonna cut him off there, so no more drama is being caused there. So yeah, end of lap 20, Calic is still on our back. I did have him in mind. I think he will again go for a move into the first corner. We don't let him through here, but he goes past anyway. He goes really wide into the first corner. We try to pass him again, but it just wouldn't work there. And I believe he's going to get blue flagged again through sector 1. You'll be able to see he's getting really wide lines. We for the whole of the race we took quite shorter lines, let's just say, from others. But again, on the big straight, he's going to get blue flags. We get another DRS zone, so that's good. We kind of push him to the inside to like signal hill. That's enough battling. We weave a bit to tell him to not go for any sort of move from now on. And right now his tires were a bit worse than ours, or the grip wasn't there as it was on the last couple of laps. And now, as Jeff said right there, the car behind, who's currently Lambo, has a time penalty, which meant we'd not have any issues with winning this race. And now through the penultimate corner on lap 28. We have one penalty, but the car behind has at least 2 of them, so it's gonna be a win in the pre-season race here in USA around the final corner, and we take the checkered flag for a race win in the pre-season race. We take the pre-season on us, but obviously time will tell if this is gonna translate into our season pace, which obviously we would hope for. But here we are lifting the trophy in USA. It's the pre-season race, so some drivers didn't show up. As you saw, we only had about 14 or 13 people in this lobby, but it's a win either way. We took the maximum points. We did everything we could today. An unfortunate event with Emery obviously stopped a very nice battle, what it was in the start of the race, but there it is. Big congrats to Neo and Lambo for a very nice showing. One stop from both of them, obviously. So yeah, next week we have a first race in Australia. I'm gonna make highlights of every league race I do, so stay tuned for them, and until next week guys, I'll see you next time.